Hey guys, it's Will here. Yesterday I talked about finding stocks that are gapping up or spiking in the morning based on a percentage gain, and you can use a pre-market feature of TC2000. Another way that you can be notified for stocks that are moving in some fashion is to set an alert on a stock or ETF or whatever. So I find what I'm trying to do with these videos is share my experiences as a starting out as a new trader, and then I'm still learning, of course, but I love sharing. And so what I noticed was I mentioned yesterday that I was using free tools like TradingView, and I mean you can pay for it and upgrade, but I was using a variety of free sites, and there was limiting, like on TradingView, how many indicators I could put on the screen. You could only put 3, including moving averages and stuff like that. And so I was kind of limited there, and I was trying to do I think different watch lists and stuff, and I couldn't put stocks into different watch lists. There's just one big list there. And so anyway, what I found was that I chase stocks a lot. So I'm clicking around and I'm thinking, oh, this might be good, and then it finds out that it went up and I didn't know about it. The thing I talked about yesterday was a pre-market scan, and that is, stocks will go up not just in the morning before the market, but during the day as well. And so I might click around a lot and then end up missing and forgetting about a stock, and then finding out later, oh, that was a good time to buy. So if you're looking at charts and a stock isn't ready to, as a purchase for whatever your criteria are, you can set an alert. And there's different things you could do, different ways to set an alert. And, maybe I'll show a couple here, but the basic one would be the price alert. So if you have a stock, and I'm using this RIOT blockchain as an example, if you had a price that you were thinking, maybe I'll buy if it gets above a certain price, or below, you could even say, if it's down, if it goes down again, I want to buy back in because I missed it or something. You could right click. There's different ways to do this, but right click at a certain point. So like say you're at, say you didn't want to buy it at this price. You were thinking maybe if it goes down to 75 cents for some reason, whatever your reasoning is. So you're down here around 75, you right click, and it says, you go down to where it says create price alert. Now, if you don't have the exact price correct, it's okay. You hit correct, create price alert, and then you can change it here. So 75 cents is, and then you say okay. And you say, it's going to create it at that price. So that's one way to do it. There's a little more fancy way to do things if you use any kind of technical analysis, trend lines or moving averages, you can use an alert for that as well. So if you look at this stock, it's come up to around $1.20, and then it came back down, and then it went up again, and it a little bit spiked over that, and then there's a couple of bounces right off of 120. So you might decide you want to see if the price goes up above the top of this candle, or you might want it to go above the top of the wick way up here a little bit, just a bit higher than that, which would be 124. So somewhere there, you decide where you think that makes sense for your situation. So if you have in TC2000, there's these drawing tools. So one of them is a horizontal line. You can also draw a shorter trend line horizontally or on an angle. So anyway, if you have that line, you can click on it. You see the hand. You right click on that, and you can set an alert. Now this is a little different because it says here crosses this line. So you'll get an alert when it crosses that value. I might as well show while I'm at it. There's an alert tab up here, and I won't show that, but the settings can be for you to get texted, emailed, or a noise, a beep. So if you're on the computer all day and you want a notification, a visual, like an audio, it can do that. So there's different ways you can be notified. And obviously, if you send it to your phone, you can also have a notification on your phone as well for audio or whatever. So you don't need to do an audio on the computer, but some people do like a bell or something like that. Another interesting way, and it doesn't have to be a horizontal line. You can also have a line that is on some sort of angle. Another interesting way that's a little bit different as well is moving averages. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, that's okay. But a moving average is just an average of the last number of candles or prices over the past so many days. So this black one, or let's say the 50-day moving average. So the 50 days is blue line, and that is the average of the previous, like of 50 days of pricing. So it kind of smooths out the prices. And people use those in various ways to buy only when it's above the average, or they see if it bounces off the average, because a lot of times price will hit an average and then bounce back down. You can see here, it came up, didn't quite, there was a couple averages here, bounced off it and came down. Because a lot of people are looking at these averages on the screen, so it's almost self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, but it's amazing how many times that actually happens. So if you want to see if the price, let's say right now it's just above the moving average, I think. So if we want to see if it crosses down below the moving average for some reason, maybe you want to sell if it goes below. What you do is so the moving averages and indicators are up on this upper area here. And so where this says moving average 50, I click on the drop down arrow, and then there's this thing called set alert again. And this one's more complicated in terms of offering features. So you can say when the indicator is greater than a certain amount or whatever, but what I'm going to do is click on the greater than and change it when the price history crosses up. So you can say when it's above or when it's crossing up. You can have moving averages of 50 crossing another moving average of 34, or whatever your other moving averages are. You can have signals in different scenarios when moving averages are crossed. But I want to, just for example, I want to do it when the price history crosses up, down over the moving average. So I'm going to click that, and then you can say create alert, and you can type in a name and stuff like that. But I think alerts are great, because what I do sometimes is I see stocks that I like, but they're not quite at the point. So like if I wanted to buy this, I might think, well, it's had these couple of resistances here. I want to make sure it goes up above that. And you might not even want to buy the initial breakout. You might want to see that it comes back and tests it and goes back up again. So, but it'll be your first signal to potentially, move it into a watch list or something. So I've been marking up, I've been setting alerts on a variety of stocks, and then I don't have to stare at them. And one of the reasons I'm doing this alerts video, and also for myself, is I want to minimize, the amount of time that you have to spend staring at stocks, and you won't necessarily have to spend all day. So you do some scans, you get some stocks you're interested in, set alerts where it might be better for your particular situation, and then you can, better manage your time and more organize your trading. So you might not know at this point in your career or your stock trading experience where to set alerts and stuff, and that's maybe for another video. But if you want to get the TC2000, I highly recommend it. It's been unbelievable for me, just to simplify things and organize things and find stocks. And I put a link in the description. You can get $25 off the software. And obviously I'm using it. I recommend it. So I'm recommending this because I love it. And I would only recommend things that I enjoy and that are very useful. The other thing with the cost is, in Canada, we have $10 roughly per trade. So, and also, when I've made mistakes with certain stocks, when I was learning, I've lost, easily hundreds of dollars or more. So basically, it's really important to invest in proper tools. But I had this philosophy where I was always trying to do everything with free tools, and it was quite a struggle. And your time is really important, and if you're going to make more money finding really good stocks and being better organized, it's going to be well worth the investment. So link in the description below for $25 off TC2000. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want me to do more about the software. I'm not seeing a lot of good videos on TC2000, or doing this type of work. So it's more about people, you know, talking about the stocks, and I can talk about stocks as well, but I think it's really important to go through the you know, the software as well. All right, guys, talk to you later.